I would like to invite some people from Taiwan, Professor Xie.
Today I give you some comment on the Dr. Huang and Dr. Xi, the paper and the presentation. And the first one, I want to say that why we need to spatial municipality in Taiwan is about the sixth, now is the sixth spatial municipality. Actually, in Taiwan, is total local government, main local government is about 24 or 26. So, and the sixth spatial municipality is almost the 25% in main local government in Taiwan. So it's not a spatial, it's almost it's a minority compared to the other local government. So why Taiwan update or consolidation so many spatial municipality? Because maybe there's some political reason or some maybe the financial consideration. Because when the update, when consolidate the spatial municipality, they can share the more and more the financial budget. However, it's not a reality because when this sixth spatial municipality update the spatial local government, they also spend more the personal budget and also did not input more budget from the central government. So this is my concern. The one of the reasons why so many spatial municipality in Taiwan. The other reason because the Dr. Huang and Dr. Xi the paper, the main argument when the creators many spatial municipality in Taiwan, and they also maybe lost the democracy, especially for the citizen participation and democracy. However, I have the other reason for this because when we adopt the spatial municipality, the two main reasons for doing this, the one is efficiency, the other the economic growth. In United States, the situation when the city and the county consolidation, most of the city and county consolidation, they also promote efficiency or administrative efficiency. But however, the economic growth maybe is not necessarily increase. So this maybe efficiency when democracy in efficiency is two tradition in public administration thinking. So when we thinking about how to promote efficiency or something like the economic growth, maybe they will have some reason to support why the Taiwan created so many spatial municipality. Okay, the third reason I want to consider when I asked some student, potential student, when they plan to enter in my university and my department this August. I asked some students from Thailand, Thailand County and Thailand City. Some of them think after the 2 years the city and county consolidation in Thailand city and the county, they think that the service delivery integration and the social welfare is very good. So something they some citizens from this spatial municipality area, they think about they can promote their service quality of life and also something improve in their life and the situation. So this is a good reason create a special municipality. However, when we consider, because the other majority of local government is about 75% local government in Taiwan, they are not a special municipality. So, however, they share less financial resource in Taiwan. So this maybe will become promote the Taiwan local government will become the unbalance in resource and economic growth. So this measure the other reason we need to consider in the future. However, when consider their advantage and disadvantage, maybe needed time, because they only about 2 and 3 years we need to go through this create a special municipality. However, I will suggest maybe a 10 and 20 years after the 10 and 20 years when we look at this city and county consolidation is good or bad. So this in the future we need to consider the time effect. Okay, and this is my comment on this great paper. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you. I will comment because I'm a lady. Now I want to conclude about the local governments in Thailand. Administrative of state was separated to 3 levels. First level is centralization, such as central government, ministry, and second level is the concentration power, such as province, ampere, and thirdly level is involved decentralization. In Thailand, have 4 kinds of organization in local government. One is Province Administrative Organization, PAO. Second is Sub-District Administrative Organization. And 3 is municipalities and special local government, such as Bangkok. You know, Bangkok is the capital of Thailand. It's a special local government. In this paper, it concludes about to empower people to know what the perception of democracy. And I think it is a very important factor that will develop democracy. In Thailand, have a problem about people, and it involves political culture in Thailand. You know, patronage system. It is the root problem of people in Thailand that relate to the quality of democracy. And I think in the local government, people is the important key factor that determine self-determine themselves, and they have to determine what they want. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the lady, and she provided some important issue about the system in Thailand and the importance of people in Thailand, especially at the local governmental levels, and we find it very insightful. Now I want to take this chance to invite Professor Huang from the Central Police University to talk about maybe from different view, because his university is a police university.
Okay, thanks, Moderator, Professor Huang. I'm Junior Huang from Central Police University, but I'm not a police officer. So I'm not sure if I can provide other thinking, just like Moderator Huang mentioned. But first of all, I also like to thank Professor Serirangsan to give us a very broad view of the picture in Thailand. Professor Serirangsan mentioned that democratization, human rights, and also environment are very important because that is a globalization change. And if I'm not wrong, you also mentioned that Thailand government provide more power to local government, and that's also happened in Taiwan. We call that as decentralization. So I'm happy that we have a common chance. And secondly, go back to what Professor Lu mentioned. I also agree that government capability will be a very important issue, particularly in Taiwan local government, because in the process of decentralization, I believe that local government need to improve their capability to deal with public affairs. For example, in my recent research, I do a topic in the response capability in local government in Taiwan. And I realized that in the past, we expect that the government can offer money or can have more people to deal with public affairs, just like maybe what happened in Thailand before 1997. If I'm not wrong, after 1997, some law changed. So we can also find that the money and also the people are not enough, both in Taiwan and in Thailand. So go back to my research, I found that local government, particularly in Taiwan, they need to have some strategic thinking. For example, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough people, but how we can find some new opportunity and go back to theoretical framework that called prospective thinking. And unfortunately in Taiwan, we found that there are many local governments, they still do very reactive. For example, some stakeholders like legislator or like city mayor or many people, they ask the government do this and they will do this. They ask government to do the other thing and the local government will react their expect. And they don't have their own direction. So that we will find that the capacity will have a very, very bad influence. Or to be frank, they will reduce their own capability in governing local affairs. So that's my first argument. Secondly, in response to Moderator Huang's ask, since I'm from Paris University, I also learned that, and by the way, I also noted Professor Huang and Professor Xu's article, they mentioned about minority rights is a very important issue in Taiwan local government. And I also realized that there are some cases in Taiwan local government, some people, they fight for their rights. Maybe they are not minority in races, but they are, in particular, in politics, they are minority. For example, in the issue of house remove. Okay, they are minority in urban planning. Okay, in some counties, there are some groups, they fight for their housing rights. They don't want to move to other places. So there are kind of minority in Taiwan local government. And we found that in the angle of police, we have different kind of models to deal with this kind of protest. In the past, since Taiwan is an authoritarian country, and the major model of police to deal with the protest, that is control model. And after democratization, we, this model has been changed into management model, and maybe some people will say that mutual respect model. And I'm curious, the case in Thailand, we know that there are also some protests in Thailand, and among these three models, like control, management, and also mutual respect, I'm curious that in what is the case in Thailand? Maybe I'd like to hear some experience from Thailand, and that's all my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your comments about we are facing different ideas. We used to have a very reactive local government, but nowadays the government, the central government, hopes that our local government to be more proactive. And Professor Huang also mentioned about in the political system, we used to have a control model, but after we become a democratic country, nowadays we decide to maybe can find another way and in facing the fighting for rights movement. And he also mentioned about the people movement in Thailand, especially we know that about a red t-shirt fighters or something, and he wants to know, some experience from Thailand. Because he asked some questions, could I invite some of our friends to provide some experience about perhaps the experience after the coup d'etat?
Good morning. I'm Thawi Sulalitikun from School of Political Science, Sukhothai, Thammathirat Open University. I have some experience to exchange about Thai politics and between national politics and rural politics. About more than 15 years, the politics in Thailand is changed rapidly. It changed from the politics of central government that the politicians in cities or in the capital have more powerful. But nowadays, the politicians in rural, they are becoming the more power. For example, I would like to say the national political parties take over national politics. Everyone who wants to get into politics must have to come and join with the national politicians. The political party in Thailand is very centralized and depend on the personality of leader, especially the leader of the party, the head of the party. When the leader, the party is living, but when the leader die, the party dead. So Thailand at the present, the politicians from rural, they are more power. When the national party want to win the election, they must come to us or do something to benefit exchange. Then they will win because the people in the rural are the major votes, the last voter. And you asked about the red t-shirts. The red t-shirt is mostly come from the rural area, yeah, because they know that they have the power that can make everything, such as vote for the government. Their vote is very important for the government. So the Thai government have to use the popularism to provide the benefit for the people in the rural. They give everything, luxurious life and money in many programs to the people in the rural. So the problem of Thai political nowadays is how government can keep or buy the heart from the rural people with money, and how sincerely from the people in the rural that give to the national government. I think this problem will last long because, as Dr. Wanwalan says, we have the political culture that living in patronage system. I would like to know from Taiwan politics. I have heard that your success in anti-corruption and your success in political development and economic development, because Thai politics now, the line of corruption between national politics and rural politics is on the same line. Simply said that there are many corruption in Thailand politics. So I would like to have the best practice from your administration, your politics, to maybe solve our problems and better than more than this day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The professor provided a very clear picture and talk about where the Red T-shirt brigades come from. And he said that most of the Red T-shirt, they came from the rural areas. And the government decided to put more money and more resources to the rural area. So nowadays, they no longer have these kind of problems. And he also mentioned that something about the experience in Taiwan about the anti-corruption and economic development. And maybe we can invite some of our guests to provide the idea of the anti-corruption policy in Taiwan and to assess how successful we are. And now I would like to invite Professor Zhang from Donghua University. And Donghua University is quite special because Donghua University is concentrate on the indigenous people's issue. So maybe Professor Zhang can provide some ideas about minority rights and indigenous rights in Taiwan, and maybe we can share the idea with our friends from Thailand.
It's very interesting. Last year, I went to Thailand. I went to Thailand to participate in a conference. I like Thailand very much, but I like the food too. But you know, the food is a little, maybe a lot of the spicy. But I'm not good stomach. But I like the sweetie. I like the sweetie coffee from Thailand. So also in from our distinguished guests, I think the Thailand and the Taiwan have the same situation. For example, like the red T-shirt and the yellow T-shirt in Thailand, but in Taiwan we have pen blue and the pen green. Yeah, also divided into two groups. So it's very, funny. Especially my university is located at Hualien, at eastern Taiwan. Maybe last week from the news, in Taiwan is a more complexity situation. Why? Because we in Taiwan, local government also have the united issue. I mean, the united issue is with China. In Hualien local government, a chief of the some sector, he mentioned, make the announcement to the quasi-military soldier before they enter in the military. He say, no matter how you feel, Taiwan will united with China financially, and after several days, this chief has to quit because he says some opinions is not welcome by the local people, because Taiwan and China is different. Different countries, but the Taiwan local officials say we were united with China, but some people don't agree this opinion, and then these people, the chief, quit this job. So this is also, Thailand maybe will also face this issue, but you don't have the united issue. But in our local government, even our local government still need to face the united issue. But sometimes I think in Taiwan, some politicians, they like to, absorb some eyes from the public. They want to show my ideology is pen blue, so I will say I will unite with China. But the official in local government, they may be the pen green. They say I want to independent. But it's very ridiculous. Local government, how do you united with China? The united with China, only you can say is from the central government. Because central government have the power, have the right, you can negotiate from foreign affairs. So local government is maybe we say it's funny to talk about the united issues. And second is we need to focus the rights of the people in local government. Why? Because after democratization, people know their rights is promotion. They how to protect their right. For example, like the Professor Huang mentioned, the housing moving in Taiwan. Some the minority people can reject the majority people rights. Sometimes this issue, how to deal with in Taiwan, he will evolve into many problems. Some politicians, some local people, some university students, they maybe support the environment justice. The local government have the power to move the local housing people out, and by force power, by police power. I don't have the very clear answer right now. I'm still thinking. Because the Thailand and Taiwan, I think our government is not from democracy. Our government from the authority. So when democracy into the authority, he will become some problems. I think the politician in local government or in central government, they need to learn how to understand the democracy, how to operation the democracy. And the people also need to learn, because the democracy is not grown in our island or in Thailand. So sometimes I think maybe we need to argue some conflict, and after this the process, and we learn, and we to think, and we to discuss, and we to negotiate. I think it must the way we need to through. So the third is when we talk about democracy, sometimes local government needed to think. Also in this paper, participation, how to let the local people to participation in local affairs. Also, Professor Lu mentioned the local people or local government, they ignore local people, ignore the public affairs. And it's very, I think it's very, maybe I say it's right to ignore. Why? Because in economic growth, we all focus on our salary. We focus on our money. So we don't care the local government, we don't care the local affairs. So that's also the reason how local government to attract the people from local to care about their rights. So sometimes I think maybe the house moving in Taiwan, is the case to attract the people's eyes to care about their environment issues. Because local government is close to our people, to local people. When local area, what happens, local people must to think. Maybe someday our government will to move my house down, to move my house out. Maybe I will be the victims, maybe. So I think from the list issue, we need to learn, and it's also finally to the minority and the majority, the problems. And that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Professor Zhang provided a very clear picture about the Taiwanese society. Taiwanese society is a separated society, separated by the so-called green and blue. And we have got some people who support to separate from China. And other people, they say that we should have a united China or the one China. In the international relations called One China policy. And it's quite a polarized society in Taiwan, and it's very hard to find a bipartisan decision in Taiwan. However, Professor Zhang argued that at the local government levels, basically people don't really care about this kind of issue. So the local government, they should not really talk about it. And he also mentioned that because it is the central government, it is the central government who has the final say for if we want to unite with China or to be separated from China. So it is the central government who has the final say. And he also mentioned that it's a process of learning how to be democratic. And that is quite important. And we are still in the process. And he also mentioned that we have to get more people in and to get more people to participate in the process and to have perhaps the bipartisan agreement. Okay, now I'd like to invite the Dean of STOU to perhaps to conclude our talk, and then I will invite the director, the chairman of our department to conclude the discussion for today.
I think between Taiwan and Thailand is the similarly structure of the government. We have the central government and we have the provincial level and we have the local government. And I think the same problem between Taiwan and Thailand is similarly the first, the participation of people in the rural area have a lack. And the second, I think the decentralization system on two countries have better than the each other country that the success in local governance. And the third, I think the local governance for the self-governance for people in the country have no more than. Yes, I think 2 or 3 problems is that's not to goal of local government. The goal of local government is the self-government by people and on the participatory democracy, and we will not go to the civil society too strong in 2 countries. Yes, I think this is the conclusion of discussion today.
Now I hand over my microphone to our director.
Thank you for your dedication to this discussion. Very impressive and inspired. Okay. At last, I want to make some complimentary introduction to Dr. Lu and Dr. Xie, Dr. Wang, Dr. Zhang, because they are professors of other universities, but they are also adjunct professor of my department. So we invite them come here to join us, to join this discussion. And at last, I want to thank you, my distinguished guests from STOU. I wish we have more cooperation from now and here. Thank you. Thank you.